Are departing the Turks and Caicos and we're heading to Puerto Rico. So Carla's pulling off our courtesy flag. Very nice set of islands, very uncrowded and quite wonderful. A little rocking and rolling here.
Beautiful night tonight. We have this amazing sunset that goes on forever. And then over here, I have a full moon just over our stern. I think we have, you probably can't see me, but yeah, we have about 12 knots on the beam. Gargoyle's doing 6.5 knots right now. Absolutely gorgeous. Hopefully it stays this way. So we are just coming into the Windward Passage. It's right down here, and you can see Haiti just around the clouds. Hold it. I know what you're thinking. Gargoyle should be heading south to Puerto Rico, not west to the Windward Passage. I'll let Kevin take the next watch and give you an update.
Wow, beautiful sunset tonight shaping up here. Fairly clear skies, and we are motoring, as you can see, to the west, southwest. Yesterday at this time, we were just putting up our sails with a plan to go to the southeast and to head to Puerto Rico. Well, let me flip the camera around here and I'll tell you about what happened. Last night we came out of the channel and the weather report had said we may have some mixed seas. We were seeing anything from 3 to 9 foot, but it should settle down quickly and we should have winds of 10 to 15 knots. We came out and under sail and we had pretty good conditions. So we got the sails set and it was starting to build quite a bit, but we decided to put a reef in the main and one up front, and then Carla took the watch. A little while later, maybe an hour later, Carla came down and woke me up. And I could hear the wind was starting to howl, and she said we needed to put more reefs in. The wind was blowing over 20 knots and the sea state had gone a bit crazy. Reefed down the main, we reefed down the front sail, and then we were just sitting there looking at our plan on the chart plotter when we took a massive wave out of the dark off of our port side that rolled Gargoyle almost 90 degrees over. Carla was good. She was clipped in sitting towards the center. I was actually a little bit more outboard behind the helm, but I had not clipped in, and I was thrown and thought I was going overboard. Did manage to get one hand on the wheel to kind of slow myself down, and then another hand behind me and managed to grab the arch as well before the boat righted itself. It was definitely a bit of a scary moment. No worse for wear here, a few bruises and nothing that a few Aleve can't take care of. We decided that we'd have enough of forcing our way into the weather, and rather than go to Puerto Rico to resupply, we decided to take plan B, which has always been to head to Bocas del Toro in Panama, which is where we plan to spend hurricane season. So we are now heading towards Bocas del Toro. We're now looking at an 8-day sail, but it should be good. After we get through the Windward Passage, we'll be able to sail the entire way, but we do want to get through the Windward Passage before a little front comes through tomorrow. So that is an update. All is well. Carla's downstairs catching up on much needed rest, and I have the night watch. Day 2, and oh man, are we tired of the Caribbean and the winds and the little short stack waves. So I got a shorter night's sleep than Carla did because Carla has, as you've seen on past episodes, Carla has a tendency to oversleep.
My phone time.
Carla's phone is set on automatically give Carla more sleep. I didn't even know Google had that setting. Last night she just slept and slept. She went down at 6 and at 1:30 I went to bed last night. Riding these waves down south here and heading towards Jamaica. Taking a look at the chart here, and it looks like Carla did, as usual, a brilliant job of sailing the boat last night. We were over and we came down in here, and then we started sailing and sailed across for position, and then we just made the jibe down south. And as you can see, the blue line is our course over ground, and obviously wobbling around a bit, especially zoomed out this far. But this mark down here is where we're heading off the tip of Jamaica. Made for a rough night for the guy in the bunk, but should all pay off today. Pretty good seas. Carla's had to watch. How's it going out here?
Good. Our wind is picking up, so we've had like 17, 18 knots all day. Now we're consistently over 20, actually hovering around 22 knots. So gargoyles surfs around 10 knots. We're at the top of the wind. So we're making good time.
Hoist it up.
We have reached Jamaica earlier than expected and unfortunately enter into an area of light winds between the island and the Dominican Republic. We still have 700 nautical miles to go, so it's time for the crew to get to work and pull out the Jenniker to take advantage of light winds.
So Carla is rigging the big sail, the big guy as she likes to call it, so our asymmetrical code 0. Now, this is where Carla is in her element. You never see me doing these things. Well, first of all, I'm not nearly as stable, and number 2, I would just never go to this much trouble. I'm not the sailor that Carla is. She loves to sail. I'm just about the destination, and this is what she loves to do. So she's in her element. So we are cruising along, and I seem to have picked up a passenger here. I put the kids downstairs. Carla's sleeping. I put Dean downstairs primarily because he was going crazy chasing this thing around the boat outside. But now that he's downstairs, it's come inside for a rest. Little, I guess it's a Jamaica bird. I don't really know. Jamaica, me cat's crazy. So we have a gorgeous afternoon here. We're broad reaching about 600 miles outside of Panama and Bocas del Toro. The crew is in their happy place. Dean is on watch. Likes to watch for sharks back here, I think. We're not really sure what, but this is Dean's spot. And Carla is comfy, reading a book, looking at the weather. I'm gonna go take a nap. And again, as I said, we're on a straight line, 600 miles ahead to Bocas del Toro.
Huge patches of seaweed. We just cut through the middle of one. Now, our Watton Sea is bogged down. I think we should try to clean that off maybe.
Watching the sunrise, a wonderful sight again on the passage. Today is Thursday, and just been a gorgeous run. Beautiful wind. The current is giving us a nice push down, so we are making 7.5 knots over ground. I think I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the sunrise.
So today is going to be a squally day according to the forecast, and this one's a biggie, but I think we're going to sneak by it, and hopefully we can get out of it before the sun sets.
Hey,
He's had a rough day.
I think I saw in the chart you're not supposed to pick up hitchhikers in these parts. What are you doing? Yeah, this little guy's been flying through gales, I think. Little squalls out here. He's probably hitches rides on boats a lot, I'm guessing.
He does. He's in our freighters kicking around.
Yeah. Squally. Nice little cooling and refreshing squall here that we're going through. This one came out of nowhere.
Samantha, what are you doing? Yeah? Sammy and I are just doing some cleaning up here, and I wanted to show you our aft cabin because we've been on a port tack pretty much since the Windward Passage, and with the layout of our aft cabin, it's not the best because our heads are actually on the starboard side of the boat. So this is what we do. We just flip the pillows to the other side, and the great thing is you've got this headboard here so you can actually plant your feet against it. So when the boat rocks, you can actually get some stability. And then our portable fans work great because we can put them on either of the latches and stay relatively cool back here. And then Sam finds her perfect bed, which is right here. And she lays down and she crams herself in that little cubby hole, and she sleeps there all night. Beautiful day. We've literally been on this tack for I don't know how long. And the boys are upstairs. The other night when we were reefing in the main, Carla did a big foobar. I wrapped the in-hull line around the winch and then went up to do it by hand. And of course, I got it double wrapped on the winch when I reefed the main in. So our in-hull line now is here. Yeah, we had to cut it to get it off the winch. So that'll be a fix for Panama.
Did you mention your husband tried to stop you and ask if I should take that off? And you told me...
No,
it
don't
doesn't
do
matter.
that. It doesn't matter. Our Watt and Sea has been working non-stop because we've really been pretty much sailing the whole time. We're getting a lot of kelp on it though, so once in a while we clean it off. And I just wanted to show you our install here. We actually hooked it up so that it sits under our cable receptor in the back. So when we're not using it, everything's really nicely tucked away. It's a great setup. How many books have you read so far? 3 books.
And then I finished a couple I started, got like halfway through and stopped and I think I've completed every book except a couple on my Kindle. There's a couple I just can't read. So it is Friday afternoon. And as you can hear, we're cruising along out here. 330 nautical miles from Bocas del Toro. Another gorgeous day of sailing out here. We've covered somewhere in the vicinity of 700 nautical miles since we left Turks and Caicos. Great winds all the way down. Should be a nice night. We're under 300 nautical miles to go to Bocas del Toro. We look to cover in the next 24 hours another 150 miles or so. But then we expect our winds to die down and everything to flatten out. So we'll be motoring that last day. But the more distance we can cover, the better, as we would like to avoid as much motoring as we've done this year. Warning, sun's coming up behind me. Can't really see it though. More importantly, we have heavy squalls on the radar coming up ahead of us here. We are motoring, so we should power right through it pretty quick, but it looks like we'll be getting some good rain on Gargoyle. The squall whipped up and the lionfish are landing in the boat. Great squall is here. I buttoned this up. It's a nasty one.
20 nautical miles that way is Panama. It looks kind of rainy, but hopefully it's not. So we have 3 hours to go and we'll be arriving in the dark. You excited?
I will be excited tomorrow when we're at the marina. Got a lot of stressful things still ahead of us. We still have to get anchored in the dark, in the pitch black, which I'm not a fan of, which we said we'd never do again. And we then have to get checked into the country and then get to the marina. Then I'll be excited.
Easy peasy.
Oh yeah, easy peasy.
So we are like 10 nautical miles away. The sun is about to set, and we're coming into Bocas, but we thought we'd show you what it looks like on the radar. That's right. Nothing but rain. Rain and rain and rain. Should be fun pulling into this anchorage. So we are 5 miles away.
A little less than 5, 4 miles out. We are locked onto the channel entrance, which is very narrow for some reason. I don't really know why. But, and then we're trying to figure out where we go from there since we're coming in the dark. So, kind of like being a pilot, we're doing an instrument flight rules landing only.
Kevin has the enclosure up because
that squall that we were looking at on radar earlier is here. Actually, it's raining pretty good out right now. I do see my first lights on shore though, so
that's good.
Kinda.
So land ho!
Land ho again! We're back in Panama.
Bocas, and I am on the bow of the boat right now. This is pretty much all I can see. Maybe some lights from the town, and we're supposed to have some lit markers here. No markers with lights on them. So the anchor's down. Kevin's sending out notifications. We have cocktails, crackers, and cheese on the cockpit table. All is well. Feels good. Feels good to be at anchor. I know.
Cat's gonna be all wet. She's upstairs.
I don't know. She's freakish, man. I don't know what she's doing up there.
She's just like her mother.
Yeah, or her father.
Not me. I'm not freakish.
Slippy time.
Word of advice for everyone: do not ask me what I think of anything. I will tell you the truth. Do not ask me, do these jeans make my ass look fat?
Maybe you should go back to bed.
It would be nice if I could get more sleep. Oh, I'm tired and grumpy.
Kid.
Show your butt, Dean. Show your butt. That's right.